Hello everyone, hope you all are fine, and you might have gone through my previous video where I have explained or I have given you the introduction part of the chapter. In this video I will try to explain you the new and old terminologies, how this particular point or how this aspect is looked after in this chapter by the historian. You see, the chapter said, the history said that with the change of the time, so many things get changed. No, there are so many words which are get changed with the change of the time. Not only their vocabulary, not only the grammar, but the meaning to get changed. Let us try to understand how this word, their vocabulary, their grammar, not only this but how meaning also got changed with the change of the time. That's why while we are dealing history, we should be very much careful. As a learner of the history, this aspect need to be taken care of. Let us take the term, one common term, that is called what? Hindustan. Okay. Today what we understand in this 21st century, when we talk about the Hindustan, then surely we understand our country. But do you know the term is used in the different period of time, right from the 13th century, 14th century and the 16th century. First term, if you see that foreigner. When we talk about the foreigner today, what do we understand? We understand a person who is basically not belong from our country, who comes from other country. That person is called as a foreigner. That is what we understand. But in the past, the meaning of foreigner was something else. The foreigner was also called as what? Pardesi. No? Now this means what? Any people who are strangers for others, they are called as a Pradesis. Now suppose a person from one village and a person from another village, if they living in the same country but they are not known to each other, they are unknown to each other, they were called as the Pradesis. It means they were called as the foreigners. But today when we talk about the foreigners, we do not mean that they are people who are belong from our own nations. Today the term, the foreigner, is used in some other way. So in that way, watch, dealing with the history, these terminologies often creates a big problem for the historian and the learner of history to understand. So let us see other aspect of the chapter. Then let us try to understand this other aspect of learning history. In the previous video I have told that there are certain things that need to be understood. Now see the sources, the history and their sources. It means what are the sources of learning history. In the previous class you might have studied that historian use various kind of sources to write history, and as well as we also, as a learner of history, we refer various things to know the history. Okay, like we use archaeological evidences, we use coin, we use inscriptions, we use manuscript, no? So many, perhaps these are the different aspects, or these are the different sources by which we can gather the information about the past. So these are called as historical sources. But beside that, there are some other records as well by which we can collect or we can know about the history of the past, and the historian also use these sources to write the histories. And what are these? These sources are the holy text. Okay, if you refer to the various holy texts or the various epics, then you will come to know that there are so many informations which are associated to the past, and going through these holy texts and all, we can gather the information. So that's why this is also taken as one of the sources of the history. Another is chronological of the rulers. The chronicles of the rulers, in which different phase of time the different rulers has ruled. So if you see the history in the chronology, then you find that the different period, the different rulers has ruled, and they have their own way of administrating their kingdom. Okay, so this is also one of the good source of learning history. Beside that, letters and teaching of the holy saints, and the petitions and the judicial records. So these aspects are used, or these things are used to read the history or to write the history. That's why these are called as what the sources of the history. So in this video we have discussed two important aspects, that is new and old terminologies and the history and their sources. Rest part of the chapter we will discuss in another video. Thank you very much.